You haven't lost many games so far this season. How's that affected the mood around the training ground today?
No, of course it was different. The faces are different if you win or lose. That's normal. It has to be like that. Because if you don't have that, you don't will be better and don't learn about it. But we know Wednesday we have to play again, and there is no time to be more disappointed about one result. Because we speak about one game, we speak about 3 points, and Wednesday is the next one.
Is this a good thing that the fact you play so quickly after a disappointing result, and obviously a big game in Arsenal?
Yeah, but that's the best way to have a good reaction. To have a good reaction, that means training hard, working hard, and show it on the pitch, and that possibility we will have on this Wednesday.
How do you assess Arsenal and their season?
I think like City, they had some problems, but the last 2 games they won. I think the spirit of them is back, and they have good result in the Champions League, and they won last weekend, and they have good players. It's a team who has to fight to win the title, and if not, then there are some critics. That's normal.
There's been a lot said about Arsenal, their season, the job Arsene Wenger's doing. As an experienced manager yourself, how do you assess the situation with him and the relationship with the fans? And there was a banner at the weekend.
No, I can't talk about that because I'm the manager of Southampton. I have a lot of respect for the career of Wenger because he's a long time in Arsenal. He's doing a fantastic job, but what I said before, teams like Arsenal, if they don't win, if they don't fight for the title, then always there are some critics, and he's more experienced than I am, and he will handle that, no problem.
You don't think it's going to be an issue for him?
I don't think so, because we speak about a great manager, about a very experienced person, and he will handle that.
As for you and Southampton in this particular period of your season, how defining could this week be? You know, the Man City game, Arsenal, and then obviously United at the weekend.
Yeah, but we know that it's a tough program. We know that, but every game in the Premier League is a tough one. And still we have a great start of the season. We have 26 points, and that is not changing my opinion after yesterday. We know our qualities, we know our weakness. I was disappointed about the last 2 goals of yesterday. We have to do that better, and it was not normal because we didn't receive a lot of goals, and we didn't make that kind of mistakes, and then we have to reaction. We have to give a good reaction about that.
We're into December now. The January transfer window is a big window in this country for transfers, and is creeping up now. There's been reports linking you with Danny Ings of Burnley. Have you had the chance to think about signing any players in January?
No, of course we think about our team, and we think always about to making the team better than we have. But I'm pleased with the players what we have, and if there is any moment to think about what we have to do in January, we will do it. But I don't go in names of players because all of rumors, and if we need somebody, we will sign in somebody. That's the reason.
How's Morgan Schneiderlin after the weekend? Came off. Will he be ready to play on Wednesday?
No, he's not ready for Wednesday because he's now making a scan about his adductor in his right leg, and we have to wait about the result of the scan. But for sure he isn't available for this Wednesday.
What's his problem? What's the injury?
His injury is up in his adductor, but we are making a scan now to know exactly what happened.
And so, too soon to say whether it's serious or...
Yeah, that's too soon. It's not too soon to say that he can't play Wednesday, but for how long, I don't know.
Ronald, does it worry the gap that Morgan leaves when he's not in the team, for example, on Sunday?
Yeah, but I think Toby Alderweireld did a great job in the midfield position. The change was because that's our way of playing. And I didn't like to change, and I didn't have some more options to do something else. And we know exactly what Morgan means for our team. He's one of our key players, and if you missed a key player, it's always difficult for the rest of the team. We know that, and we can't do anything about that.
Do you feel like you need more options in there, Ronald, or is it a case of people coming back from injury like James Ward-Prowse?
No, more option is another midfield player, and Jack Cork was not available yesterday. He will be available for this Wednesday. And we have Harry Reid as a young midfield player, and still James Browns is injured, and that's our possibilities. We don't have the bench, and we don't have that number of players what have big teams. We know that.
Just finally, Ronald, what do you remember in your previous sort of duels or matchup with Arsene Wenger's teams?
No, it's always nice to play because the coach Wenger is like to play offensive, like to play good football. That means that you will get space to play by yourself. And we had a fantastic game in the League Cup 1, and we won. And that's a good confidence, but to play and to win against that kind of teams, you have to be good. And what I said after yesterday wasn't good enough, and then we did too much mistakes. And if you do that kind of mistakes, you can't win against big teams.
Will the midfield be the key battle against Arsenal, especially the way they like to play? And they've obviously got a lot.
Yeah, but we have to be good in our defense. They have great strikers who can score in every moment of the game, and of course the midfield is important, that lineup, because the control and the domination is always out of the midfield players. But we have to do a lot of things good to have a good result.
Do you use that result in the Capital One Cup to help going into this game at all?
No, because every game is different. Only this is good for the confidence that we know what is winning against Arsenal, and we will remember how we did in that game. But football now is a new one. It's not a game. It's Premier League. You can't compare that with the League Cup 1 game.
Are you surprised by the reaction to what happened yesterday as well? Because before the game you were being built up as this team that could break into the top 4. Now you're on the verge of slipping down.
I'm not surprised, because that's football life. One of the questions in the pre-season was about relegation, and after 2 months the questions about Champions League football, and now the question is when we will go down. But I'm not worried about that, because I know what happened.